In this video, we will be featuring a speech from Rohn where he explains the techniques we can use to design our own reality. He talks about the difference between people who let life happen to them and people who make it happen. It is better to suffer the pain of self-discipline in the now rather than the pain of regret and disappointment later. Take this time to commit yourself to striving for a better future for you and your family. This speech taught me how to build self-confidence and self-worth through the large accumulation of small achievements. Let us end the year strong and begin a new journey in the coming year. To have more, we must first become more. And to become more, we must work harder on ourselves than we do anything else. And now, here's the man himself, Rohn.
I'm a nice person, the man says to himself. How come this other guy is happy and prosperous, and I'm always struggling? He asks himself, I'm a good husband, a good father, and a good worker. How come nothing seems to work out for me? Life just isn't fair. I'm even smarter and willing to work harder than some of these other people who just seem to have everything going their way, he says, as he slumps into the sofa to watch another evening of television. But you see, you've got to be more than a good person and a good worker. You've got to become a good planner and a good dreamer. You've got to see the future finished in advance. You've got to put in the long hours and put up with the setbacks and the disappointments. You've got to learn to enjoy the process of disciplines and of putting yourself through the paces of doing the uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable. You've got to be prepared and willing to attack the challenges if you want the success, because challenges are part of success. Now, that may sound like a full menu of activities, but let me assure you that the process of going from average to fortune isn't really all that difficult. Thinking about it is the difficult part. Anticipating all the effort and the changes and the disciplines is far worse in the mind than in reality. I can promise you that the challenges you'll meet on the road to success are far less difficult to deal with than the struggles and the disappointments that come from being average. Confronting and overcoming challenges is an exhilarating experience. It does something to feed the soul and the mind. It makes you more than you were before. It strengthens the mental muscles and enables you to become better prepared for the next challenge. Now let's assume that you are one of those who is willing to tackle the challenges, that you really do want to know about the process for going from average to fortune, and that you're determined to make the journey so that you can experience the rewards. What do you do? Where do you start? What are the changes you have to make and the disciplines you'll have to master? These are the questions I often hear from those who want to do well, but aren't. And it is in response to the many inquiries I receive from those who want to enjoy the good life. It isn't a complex, mystical technique that will require you to undergo some strange form of mental transformation. It is merely a set of basic principles that will get you started on a journey that can be life-changing. I've learned over the years that about a half dozen things makes about 80% of the difference in how your life turns out. What I like to call the miracle process. Your new appetite for success and your new confidence in yourself will start you on that unique journey. It's a journey that will lead you along paths that you've always wanted to travel but could never find, amid the maze of highways filled to capacity by those who are hopelessly lost and confused. You don't ever have to remain how and what you are after today, except by your own choice. Then, with the magic of your own activity, we live in an age when so many tend to spend more money on the outside of their head than they do on the inside. That usually leads to tragic consequences, with our lives slipping by without any real or lasting progress being made. To have more, we must first become more. And to become more, we must begin the process of working harder on ourselves than we do anything else. Here's one of the more valuable discoveries I've made on the subject of going from average to fortune. The achievement of success is found not just in the gathering of new knowledge, the acquisition of new skills, or in the accumulation of new experiences. It is also in the discovery of new emotions. It's how we feel about what we know that makes the biggest difference in how our lives turn out. How we feel about the chances we have and the choices we have determines the intensity of our effort, whether we try or don't try, join or don't join, believe or don't believe. I'd like for you to discover some strong feelings about your life and about what you want to do with that life. You probably have much of the knowledge and a lot of the experience and perhaps most of the skills that it takes to become successful. What you may be lacking in are the strong feelings about what you want and what you want to do. You may be one of those who have become so involved in the process of earning a living that you've forgotten about the choices and the chances you have for designing your own life. So let the message that follows touch you. Let it help you discover the feelings that will make you take a second look at your life and where you're headed. After all, you've only got one life, at least on this planet, so why not make it an adventure in achievement? Why not discover what all you can do and what all you can have? Why not discover how many others you can help, and in the process, how that will help you?
Let me give you this simple little talk, how to go from average to fortune. There's 5 simple steps. Here's the first one. Get serious. That's number 1. I don't know any substitute for that. You've really got to get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. I know a guy that's got a half a dozen jokes keeping him from becoming wealthy. He's not known as rich. He's known as a joker, which I guess is okay if that's the kind of life you want to live. But it really isn't the best way to live. To go from average to fortune, you must get serious. And you must get serious about 2 very important things. Number 1 is setting your goals and where you want to go. Designing the next 5, the next 10 years is so vitally important. What do you want to do economically? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What would you like to have? What would you like to share? How much would you like to earn? How far would you like to go? Those are some major questions to ask. And for that all to work out like you want it to for the next 5 or 10 years, in my personal opinion, you've got to get serious. Then you have to get serious about another important subject. And that important subject is called personal development. Personal development is striving hard to become the kind of person that you want to be. And to become the kind of person you want to be, you've got to work at it. 10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who? What are you becoming? And if you go to work on it now, sure enough, in a very short period of time, you can take on a new direction to become the kind of person you want to be. There's a very important question to ask, and the question is, 10 years from now, you will surely arrive. And the question is, where? So to answer the question of where you want to arrive and the kind of person you want to be, you've got to get serious. So that's point number 1. To make your life worthwhile and unique, to go from average to fortune, you've got to get serious. Now, the second point is get smart. To make your life work out worthwhile, you've got to have some ideas. You've got to have the information. So you've got to be smart. In fact, in this decade, you must be much smarter than you were in the last decade. You've got to read the books. You've got to come up with the information. When I have a chance to talk to the high school kids, that's the theme of my talk. Get smart. There's nothing worse than being stupid. And if you will read the books, learn from your experiences, do all the things that you possibly can to get the information, sure enough, you'll be wiser this year than you were last year. And I've got a few techniques that I teach in my seminar on how to get smarter, keeping a journal, going to the lectures, going to the seminars, listening to the sermons, picking up ideas from other people. You just must keep up this steady process of learning. Never cease your quest for knowledge. And that's one of the key points to go from average to fortune. Get smart. Now here's number 3. You've got to get going. All of the things that you've learned will not do you that much good if you don't put it into an action plan. You've got to get going. How to put all the good things that you've learned into action. Economic action, social action, personal action. How to make the changes and how to actually do the work. How to actually function. Get going, that's the key. Some people are ever learning, but they don't put it into action. They don't really take the action. It's like the man who keeps bringing materials to the building site and never builds anything. See, if you do that long enough, fairly soon they'll come and take you away. You've got to do something with what you've learned. You've got to take action. You've got to get going. So that's one of the most important things to learn, how to design your days, how to design your weeks, how to design the months so that you take the proper action to get the proper return that you're looking for. For, whether it's economic or personal. Get going. It's a major key. Now here's number 4. You must get excited. And not just the false enthusiasm of just pure positive thinking. You've got to get excited over some very basic things. One is get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. Because discipline is major step 1 toward personal progress. And anytime a person wishes to, they can make major changes in their life, personally and socially and financially. It doesn't ever have to be the same after today. No telling what you could do today if you really wish to. The act of murder is a clear indication that a person in one drastic act can forever change the course of their life. It just happens to be in the negative direction. What I would ask you to do, starting today, is get excited about committing an act that's positive, an act that's constructive, to make the changes in your life that you want made, and to go the direction that you want to go. So that's number 4, get excited. Get excited about your potential. Human capacity is usually never the problem. Little children can learn several languages. We can learn to do the most incredible things. All we need to do is take the time to do it. So it's not a matter of capacity. It's a matter of judgment. It's a matter of excitement. It's a matter of will. And it's a matter of wanting to bad enough. So it's pretty exciting to know that any day you wish, you can change your life. Any day you pick out, you can make major changes. It doesn't ever have to be the same again. And that's exciting. Knowing that intellectually and personally, you can actually do the things that will make major changes in your life. That's number 4. Here's number 5. Number 5 is get away. I have found, especially in the last 15, 20 years, that there's an important thing called life balance. You've got to learn to get away. You must learn to get away and be alone. Learn to get away and reflect. Learn to get away and learn how to live as well as how to earn. How sad it would be to learn how to earn well, but not learn how to live well. You must balance your life. Lifestyle. Lifestyle is how you learn to live your life. Some people have money, but they don't even know how to spend it. They have time, but they don't know how to spend it. Some people are successful, but they don't know how to spend their success. They don't know what to do with it. They don't get joy from it. Rather, they get animosity. A father takes $5, crushes it, and throws it at his son and says, if you need it that bad, take it. Now, it's the same $5, but instead of despairing... dispensing it with joy, he dispenses it with animosity. That's the difference in not knowing how to live. It's called lifestyle. Then you've got to take time to cultivate good friends. You've got to take time to be with your family. You've got to take time to be with the people who are important to you, designing your life in those respects. Get away. Take the time. Reflect on your life. Recharge your batteries. Do some growing away from your enterprise. Then when you come back to your enterprise, after you have taken this time to balance your life, you will find that on the job, working on your enterprise, things will really go much better. So those are the 5 simple steps to go from average to fortune. Get serious, get smart, get going, get excited, and get away.